Buns. It's time to mosey along, get along game, and get the It's the end of the day. I'm hoping that you guys had a great day. Got things done and accomplished. I don't know why all this, all of a sudden I got to clear throat and stuff. Like, I'm not about to beatbox anything, so. Drink my water. Make sure y'all stay hydrated. It's time to mosey along, be a part of the Get Along gang, and go home, honey. Time to go home, go home, go home. I don't have to stay here. I'm going home. That's what we're about to do right now. I got off the elevator, y'all, and to go to my car in the garage, honey. When I tell you it looked like goddamn Ghost Town City, it wasn't funny. I said, dang. I said, how many people left? Like, they must have scooped boot, Fred Flintstone, like the Flintstone, and took the hell off. Them little people gone, something. Baby, they wasn't playing no games. They wasn't wasting no time. Then again, maybe people were leaving early. I don't really know. What I do know is they wasn't playing no games, baby. They were gone. They were gone. So, I did eat my protein bar, that I got from Einstein this morning, from Einstein Bagels. I ate that with the peanut butter. I ate that for lunch, and that may have been about 11:30 or so. And it was fulfilling, but now it's gone. Because when I tell you, before I left out that office, my stomach was growling. I was so hungry. Because all I had was, like the egg white bagel this morning with the tomato and avocado on it. And I did, when I got to work, I added a little bit of salt and pepper to it and some salsa verde. Give it a little bit more flavor for me. So I had that with the orange juice. That was my breakfast. For the lunch was the protein bar with the peanut butter. So that was good enough for me. But now I'm starving hungry and I want to go home. Go home. So that's what we're going to do. So, Hun Buns, how was your day? How things going? Did everything get done and wrapped up for you? Are you looking forward to the weekend? Did you get as much done as you could? So maybe when it comes down to tomorrow or Friday, you can be like, "Ooh, I'm just gonna kick back, put my headphones on or my earbuds in while I'm sitting here at this job, and mellow out to some music for the day." Y'all see my shirt? It says Friday, Saturday, Sunday, repeat. Baby. Yes. Whatever that is. When it comes down to it, on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it's not going to repeat for me. It's going to be a whole new Monday. And it's like, I know you better have your tail here at the job. And I was laughing because one of the supervisors came over to where my desk is and my other coworkers that are in further at the back of the office. And like one of my coworkers, she's been clearing her throat all day long, right? Blowing her nose, along with the other one, continuing to keep blowing their nose, right? And coughing. So he came back there and he was like, "Are you sick?" Stuff I be thinking. But he asked, because I just plainly told people 2 weeks ago, man, look here, if you sick, Please have the common courtesy and decency for the workplace. And for your co-workers and just don't come. Use your sick time and don't come. Right now, these are some trying times and days. Don't show up here like that. You know, you got people having whiplash. You cough or sneeze, they don't really know if it's, you know, you really do have a cold, you know, or if it's really your allergies. And everybody has, you know, allergies are symptomatic, different for different, how do my, when I had an allergy attack earlier this year, and the doctor at the emergency, I had to have an emergency appointment to go in, and from urgent care. Well, I don't think it was urgent care. I ended up going there on an emergency basis, walk in, right? And she was saying that everybody's symptoms and everybody's allergies, their bodies handle them differently. So even though I may consider mine outrageous, I can't use mine as a blueprint of saying this is how somebody's allergies are or should be. You know, they all do have all of the same common markers when it comes to allergy. Of course, you have the postnasal drip that, you know, you'll choke off of. And trust me, you will choke the hell off of it. You'll be choking so much you'll think you have bronchitis. You'll be going to the doctor because you're choking so much or coughing so much to where you're thinking that it's bronchitis or something. And the first thing they're going to do when you tell them that you've been coughing more than I think more than 3 days or a week or something, they're going to run you, have you go for like chest x-rays, because they want to make sure that none of it is going into your lungs, you know, so you don't have pneumonia. And so that's the first thing they're going to check for when you've been coughing and choking for a couple of days, right? And with allergies, you already have like a low-grade fever as it is. You know, sometimes you don't have it's not all the time and it's not every day. So don't let me say that and for people to look at it like that, because it's on some days I've been to the doctor and my temperature can be like 97 something, you know, 96 something. It's not going to always be 98 something. I've been to the doctor and my temperature is 100.4, or it can be 100.1, you know, it's like that. You know, something that's low grade, but it's not a high temperature. Or it can be 99 something, you know what I mean? So it'll fluctuate behind my allergies. The other thing, y'all see me do this a lot. My nose. My nose is always feeling like something is tickling my nose. Like something is messing with my nose all the time. You know, you're sneezing, you're coughing, you know, your eyes are irritated. It always feels like something is in it, or or grit, or, you know, even if an eyelash falls in your eye, you'll be like this because your eyes itching so crazy. And like your eyes will naturally absorb, I want to say small elements. So even if the eyelash gets caught in your eye, you know, eventually the fluids from your eyes will either wash it out on its own if your eyes are running a lot, or it's going to dissolve. It's going to straight dissolve. Like, you ever been looking in your eye and be like, I don't know, I just saw that, like, where'd it go? And you can't see it no more, and you done pulled your eyelid all the way down or all the way up trying to look for it, and you don't see it, and you don't know where the hell it went to. I'm just saying, for me, nobody's ever told me that, but I believe that it naturally absorbs little things. So, all right, Mr. Forerunner, now you're cutting across shoulders and everything to just get over here in this lane. Well, as long as you mosey along, you go right ahead. Go on. I'm just trying to get home in one piece. What we say? In one piece. No hassle, fuss, trouble, problems, or misunderstanding. We ain't trying to have no meet and greets on this freeway, on these streets. We just want to get home safely. So, everybody's allergies And there's, you know, they're susceptible to different things, depending on what you alert. What the did this man really just run up on my back end? Made me think that he was gonna slam into the back of me. Didn't I just say I didn't want any meet or greets? What's the words on the side of his car? Construction Sciences. ConstructionSciences.net. Some dude that's in a white Dodge pickup just ran up on my back end, gave me the living, like scared the living daylights out of me. Like I was about to have heart attack city in my car, thinking that you were about to slam into the back of my vehicle. Mr. ConstructionSciences.net. My goodness gracious. Look, I don't know what his rush is. I don't know where this man trying to go. I'm not understanding. It couldn't be, I don't know this person. Put it that way, because I don't know if it's male or female. Now, I don't know what their circumstances are, why they, you know, in a rush that they are, because the freeways are kind of mellow and smooth, honey. They're mellow and smooth. They're, you can just sit back and coast if you want to. You know, just relax and just ride up. No, don't do that. I can't, you know, I've seen people do that when they're driving and they have their seats back and everything and they drive like that. Me, myself, I can't drive like that. I have to sit up. It's just not gonna happen for me. Like, it's just not. Only time, like, even my seat is back a little bit, like it is right now, for me to be like this, it's like when I'm on a road trip and I'm driving and I don't want to be all up on the steering wheel. This is how I drive. Matter of fact, wait a minute. Yeah, my seat's all the way back. And the reason I just don't want to be all the way up on the steering wheel and I just, you know, sit up or prop myself up a little bit or whatever it is, I'm not trying to have a three-way conversation with this airbag if it should ever deploy and smack me the hell in my face. I've had that happen. This was like back when I worked for the phone company. And I don't know if you guys remember me telling you the story. I don't know if I told the story or not, but I'm about to tell it right now, okay? Okay, Mr. Lettuce, you flying up in that car. I don't know where these people are going, where they got this, you know, Go Speed Racer, you know, spirit on them. Like, they like pushing it. They are straight pushing. I kid you not. These people are flying. I kid you not. These people got to be doing about 70, 75, maybe 80. I mean, more power to them, you know. As long as they look out, because constables and the local law enforcement, baby, they still giving out tickets. They ain't suspended that. Ain't nothing about that is going to be waived to go away. They just say you'd either pay it, you go to defensive driving, or, you know, you have some points, or you can settle for points on your record. I mean, like, I'm not trying to be in that number. No. But back to the story, okay? This is in the 90s, right? I was working for the phone companies. Well, actually, it was the late 90s. And I hadn't had my car more than 6 months. It was a brand new car, Toyota Corolla. And it was a lavender color Corolla. So pretty to me. So pretty. And honestly, that was my first new vehicle. Every other vehicle I've had was used. I should say slightly used. Not so much, but it still had some mileage on it, right? So for myself, I lived in California at the time, so I'm in Cali. I'm leaving my house to go to my doctor's appointment. And it's sprinkling. It's not a full-fledged coming down, pounding, you know, cats and dogs, none of that. It's sprinkling, you know, as I'm driving. Long story short, 18-wheeler jackknives. I'm in the far left lane, right? I'm in the far left lane. 18-wheeler jackknife that's in the second lane. Okay, far left lane is the first lane. Second lane. They're in the second lane, right? They jackknife. You hear me? And the cab turns around. It's facing traffic. That we're coming down the hill. And his cab is turned this way toward traffic. So it's coming this way while the trailer is pushing forward, but it's like locked. So the cars over here behind him are trying to get over. I'm trying to get over, but I can't see a way. I'm like this. I'm, looking around, looking in the mirrors and stuff, but I can't get over. My timing is not allowing me to get over because the people that are right here are not slowing down enough for me to get over, right? So I have no choice but to slam on the brake, both feet on the brake, both hands on the steering wheel like this, right? Holding on for dear life because, like I said, it's springtime. And I've said this before, when it's raining, when it first rains, and I think they've said like the first 10 or 30 minutes, for something like that, that's when everything that has solidified itself on the ground, sidewalk, pavement, cement, roads, will surface, which will make the road slick. So I'm holding on for dear life, but my car is not stopping fast enough. The vehicle that's in front of me is about to hit the truck head on. I'm about to hit the back of the vehicle. And it's like you watching it, but it's nothing you can do about it, right? So this is when I'm talking about the airbag comes into play for me. When I hit the back of the car that's in front of me, which, all states, I don't know if it's majority, but majority of states, I don't know if it's all the, states or not, but if you hit somebody's car, especially in California, you hit somebody's car with the front end of your car to the back end of their car, no matter if it is their fault, you are responsible for the accident because you hit the back of that person. Your front end hit the back of them, if I'm understanding that correct or remembering that right. Because I was charged with 25% of the accident when we had to go to arbitration for the judge, with the judge. No, we went to arbitration. We wasn't in front of the judge. And everything, we had to do depositions, right? And my airbag, once I hit the car that was in front of me, my airbag pops out. I mean, smacks me dead in my face. Boom. And I'm like in shock about everything, right? I really can't move. And my car is filling up with smoke. I'm thinking my car is on fire. I'm thinking that I'm about to die. My car is on fire. And the reason I say this is because 2 years before I had that accident, I had a dream. Not a dream that I died, but I had a dream that I had a car accident. And I can hear it vividly, the accident, the crashing of, the vehicles and everything. I could hear that in my dream, which was 2 years before it actually happened, right? You ever been, doing something and going somewhere and you be like, this is deja vu, because you have dreamt it and it seemed like it was real, and then all of a sudden it comes about. That was it for me. And so because I never saw the end part of the dream, so I didn't know if I was, about to die or not. I'm freaking out. And it was a gentleman behind me. He was able to stop in time. And he came over to my window, and because I'm in my seatbelt. The seatbelt is not letting me go. The airbag doesn't deploy. It's smoke filling up my car. I'm screaming because I'm thinking that my car is on fire and I'm about to die. He has to break my window to help me get out, because I'm not thinking, straight enough to be like, let me unlock the door. I'm thinking that my car is on fire, but I'm not thinking to get out, unbuckle my seatbelt or unlock the door. None of that. You are caught in a trance. Like, your mind is wiped. You have no idea what to do in that moment. You are on delayed mode for a while. So, the driver of the truck kept saying, "It's not my fault. Tell them it's not my fault." Kept saying, when the police come, tell them it's not my fault. It's not my fault. But when we get in the deposition, he was saying that there was a red car or a white car that cut him off. And I'm looking like, I didn't see any vehicle in front of him. I was like, I was coming down the hill because he was fishtailing earlier when on the freeway. He was fishtailing before he jackknifed, right? So he was fishtailing, I want to say like a minute or two before he jackknifed. So you watch that happen at first, you're like, ooh, what's going on there? Somebody falling asleep, what's going on? You just look and you pay attention to that. That's weird. And then, like I said, 1 or 2 minutes later, well, it seemed like 1 or 2 minutes later, boom, the jackknife, and the cab is coming toward traffic, and the trailer part, which was empty, is going forward. And so that's why I kept saying, like, when we were in the deposition, I was like, what car are you referring to? Like, dude, I ain't see no car in front of you. You never even mentioned a car. I said, only thing you kept yelling at the accident was, tell them it's not my fault. Tell them it's not my fault. Never once did you open your mouth and said a car cut you off. You just kept saying, tell them it's not my fault. Tell them it's not my fault. But you never went to go see the gentleman that hit you head on, because he couldn't go anywhere because the side of your trailer had him pinned in. So he couldn't get over. He couldn't look for options to get over because the side of the the truck's trailer had him pinned in. So he couldn't get over. And with that cab, looking at him like this, coming toward him, all he could do was hit it. But never once did this driver go to that man's car to see if he was okay, if he was all right, if he was still breathing, if he was seriously injured. Nothing. The gentleman that came and helped me get out of my car went to go help. Once he helped me get out of my car and asked me, was I okay? I was like, yeah. I said, but check on the man that is in front of me and make sure he's okay, because just like his front end is bent in, like you can't see it. And I hit him from the back end, not intentionally or on purpose or, just like maliciously, but from me hitting him on the back end, his back end was pushed in as well. So it's like, see if he's okay. And so I accepted the 25% of that I was, they said I was at fault for the accident. I accepted that. And, because I was involved in that accident. And that terrified me. That terrified me for a very long time. I still don't like 18-wheelers. I call them Tonka toys. But I really don't like them by me. I don't like when I'm traveling and stuff, because they still freak me out. For a long time, I could not get on the freeway. I think it took me like 6 months to a year before I could actually drive my car on the freeway. And that is no joke. I was scared of the freeway. I didn't want to go on the freeway. Anywhere I had to go, I had to figure out how to maneuver to get there by the street, because I was not getting on the freeway. I was not trying to be in close encounters with any semi-trucks at all. At all. And so they gave me a phobia when it comes to 18-wheelers. Gave me a phobia. And it just took me a while. It did. It took me a while. And that during that time, I kept I was having like major headaches. My back was killing me. And then all of a sudden, I got tunnel vision to where I could not see like my peripheral. Couldn't see at all. So I couldn't drive my car. Like at the time when I lived in California, I had our garage was underneath where the complex I stayed at. And I couldn't see well enough to make that left turn. Like if I was doing it from the right, I could see it because I would be driving toward it to be able to see the right and go down. But if I came from the left side to come up, I couldn't see if I cleared enough to go down the ramp in my parking garage to go and park my car. And I had to end up parking my car on the street. And you know, in California, you got street sweeping on certain days, right? So you got to remember them. If it's not your day to work, remember I work for the phone company. So I didn't have a stamped and cement schedule. My schedule was rigid. You know, not all the time were your off days together. You could end up with 6 days, or you could end up with split shifts as your schedule. You'll still get your 8 hours, but it's split. Or it might end up being 7.5 hours, and then it'll be 8.5 on the other day. You know, it was crazy. So you don't have a guaranteed schedule. Put it that way. And I would have to remember, but I couldn't really see well enough to make these turns because of my vision. So I had to, my doctor ended up taking me off work because I couldn't, you know, see what was going on. I was really having like, I think they call it vertigo. I think that's what it's called. And I just could not see it out of my peripheral. Like, I couldn't see on my sides. I could only see straight forward. That's all I could see. Anything that's broad and on the sides, I could not make out. Couldn't see it. It was not coming in vision for me. Only thing I could see was just straight forward. So my doctor took me off work. And my sister-in-law, her dad would come take me to the store if I needed to go to the store. Or my friends from the phone company would, you know, I'd be like, if they needed to use my car, I wasn't using it, and that's what we did. You know, we would just, you know, like, yeah, you can use my car if you need to. You know, just take me wherever it is I need to go, and then you go and take the car to the house. Drop me off back at the house, and go and do what you need to. And, you know, they bring your car back the next day or wherever, right? Especially if they need to go wash clothes and stuff like that. I had a laundromat that was inside my apartment complex. We had a laundry room, so I didn't have the need to go out. I didn't have to do that. And the grocery store wasn't that far from me. Like I said, I lived in Long Beach. So everything was in my vicinity, including my job, to where I could walk to it. You know, something that probably anywhere between 5 to 15 minutes, 20 minutes, right? I can just walk to it. And the beach wasn't that far. And, you know, I enjoyed where I lived at. And so, until I was let go from the phone company. And the way they did that is because when I would go out of work behind the injury to my back, and then I would come back to work, and the chairs that they would have end up making what was sore muscles end up turning to what started out being sore muscles from the accident, right? And as that's healing, and I'm going to physical therapy, I'm going to acupuncture, and I'm doing aquatic therapy, right? And, you know, to take care of myself. And these are the things that my doctor is, you know, prescribed for me to do. 3 times a week, so I could take care of myself and, you know, get the strain off my back. But the chairs at work, they kept changing chairs, and all of a sudden, like, the chairs were no longer comfortable for me. I came to work one day, and I know this is not dealing with the accident. Like, I came to work one day, and I'm sitting in the chair, and all of a sudden, I feel this big pressure, like, building up on my back, and then I hear a pop. And when it popped, that popping sound that I heard, all of a sudden, I couldn't sit in the chair to save my life. Like if somebody had gave me the worst whooping in my life. I couldn't sit down. I couldn't lay down. I was having so much pain that I was crying. I was in my doctor's office on the floor in the waiting room crying because my friend had to take me from the phone company that I work with, the phone company. She had to take me because I couldn't drive, couldn't sit up. I had to, you know, lay in the car the best I could. And I'm sitting up there to check in at my doctor's office. You know, I got an emergency appointment. I didn't go to the emergency room because I wasn't trying to pay that emergency room money. So before somebody be like, why didn't you just go to the emergency room? I wasn't trying to pay the emergency room money. I still don't like, you know, trying to go to pay no emergency room money. So I couldn't sit in the chairs in the waiting room. I had to end up being on the floor and damn near in tears and everything because I was in so much pain. And I didn't know what was going on. So I had to go do x-rays and a CT. And she sent my stuff over to the orthopedic, you know, as well, specialist. And when they called me, well, I can't remember if they told me right then and there, or if they told me later that I end up having a bulging disc, like you know, my disc, it was like inflamed, it was large, and it was bulging. I had a bulging disc, and it was between my L5 and S1. So even to this day, I can't sit on hard surfaces. I can't sit in hard chairs. Can't sit on the floor for too long. I can't lay on my stomach for too long because I have an arch in my back. And most black women, you know, women of color, they have an arch in the back, the lower part of their back to their buttocks, right? So with that, it adds pressure. Well, I should say tension onto your back. So, and then after that, you know, you pick up weight because you're not going to the gym and doing what you usually do, right? So what turns out from me going to the gym or doing therapy from 3 to 5 days a week to where I can barely move. And baby, that weight was packing on. Hell, I still packed on weight. And I'm not the size that I was. Sorry. I'm not a size 8, 9 from back in the day. No. Kim is a nice, healthy between 13 and 14. It's my size. I have no shame in that. It is what it is. So, yeah, it took me out. I was on and off work, on and off work, on and off work, on and off work for the phone company. And they kept me, I guess, as long as they could. And because I was having that pattern of not really being at work. And I would call out. And I may have been out until I was able to go in to see my doctor. So those days, they will count against you until you actually see your doctor. And they take you off on medical. And while you're off on medical, of course, they can't fire you. So when I came back, like I said, any of the days that led up to that they deemed as unexcused, And then, like I said, GT was bought out by Verizon, so we're in new management. They dropped our call time being on the phone with customers. That used to be 15 seconds. Then it went down. No, I'm sorry. We started off with, I think, 23. Then it went down to 15. Then it went down to 12. And I think before I left, we were supposed to wrap up calls by 8 seconds. Don't know if they're still doing that now, so please don't make me lie to you. And I used to work 411, and I used to do the operator. You know, back in the day, you had pay phones. And if somebody was on, you know, at the pay phone, and or they needed assistance at home, and you press 0 for an operator to help you. And the pay phone, you know, you have the little button to release the coins, if they put coins in. They ain't put any coins in, and you keep doing that. Okay, perhaps it is broke, and you say you put your money in there. Only thing you can do is put it in a repair order for, you know, someone to go out there and repair that phone, if it is possibly taking money and not giving somebody their money back, right? That's the most we can do. And we can go ahead and do a courtesy and make your call for you. Help you make a collect call. Back in the day, collect call used to be, your name please, and we would call somebody. But most of the time, people didn't know we had a mute button. If we kept you on the line for us to make your collect call, we wait till that person would connect. And if you could hear if the person picked up or not, right, on the other end. But they're on mute, because we have a mute button for one side of the party that wants to make it. And then we'll connect the call together, right? And if somebody picked up, then we would tell them, you have a collect call from such and such, will you accept? And they will say either yay or nay. And if it was somebody's answer machine, you know, back in the day, if an operator didn't come on the line and you go through the automated, then you could leave a message. You know, somebody's message machine come on or whatever it is, and you be like, it's me, such and such. Call me back at you know, grandma's house, my house, page me, whatever it is. And if you can say it real quick within that timeline, they got that message, right? If you're on the phone with us, your end is muted. You can be saying all you need to say on that end. They can't hear you. They can't hear you. Not even the answering service can hear what you say, because it's not connected. We didn't connect it. So, like I said, I've done the operator service, and I've also did 411 at the phone company. And it was a fairly good job. But I could say any of us that was coming up on the 5-year mark, once you, at the time when I started, you got a pay raise and cost of living every 6 months until you reach your 5-year. Once you reach your 5-year, you've come to a head of getting a raise every 6 months, right? And you will still get the cost of living every 6 months, but you will only get your raise once a year. And by that time you reach 5 years, you're already up to $20. Now, mind you, this is back in the 90s, late 90s. So earning almost $20 an hour, pretty good. And they calculated my days and had me, I think it was on New Year's Eve. And I came back to work because it was on my thing to go back to work on a certain day. I think it was like 2 days before the New Year's, maybe 3. Somewhere up in there, somewhere within the last week, right? It was right after Christmas, but in the last week of the New Year. And I sat up there and went back to work until I could reach my doctor to get an extension to continue to be off. If you don't have that extension, you're supposed to be at work. So I went in, I said, okay, well, let me at least try. Let me go on and go. And as soon as I went, and I guess they realized that I was there at work and I hadn't called out, and I actually showed up, they told me on that the next day or something like that, that they need to talk to me in the conference room. And so when I got in the conference room, they wanted to inform me that they had my last paycheck and that they were going to go ahead and let me go. Now, at this point in time, like I said, anyone that was reaching a 5-year mark, if you had any type of infractions, they were trying to lay you off, let you go. Not to call you back, like we'll call you back later when things pick back up. No. I know one girl, they were telling her to come in and if she could turn her headset and stuff and they need to talk to her. She was like, I'm not coming. She said, you can mail me my check if that's the case, but I'm not coming. She wasn't coming back in to give them that headset or their badge. And I just cracked up laughing, you know, when that incident happened. But for me, myself, and then they like call in security and stuff to come so you go get your stuff out your locker and they can escort you down. I was like, I am not that type of employee. That's not something you have to worry about from Kim. I'm not that type of employee. And I'm not about to sit here and be yelling and screaming and all that and cuss you out, won't fight you. But I learned after the security person told me when we were going down why they have to come up. And they were saying because when they let someone else go, I think like the year before, something like that, but it was in the past, they let somebody go. And the person waited for the supervisor to come down in the garage to get in their vehicle and whoop their ass. And I was like, oh, okay, I understand now. So they want to make sure that you fully leave off the premises. They don't want somebody waiting around. So once the security person told me that, I was like, oh, okay. I was like, because I was like, I'm not that type of person. I've never displayed those type of characteristics. Like, why would they feel like they need to call security on me? So, oh my gosh. I was like, oh, okay. It is what it is. But some of them supervisors there, yeah, you can see yourself putting some hands on them. Because some people get beside themselves. And I don't care if you're a supervisor. I don't care if you're an assistant supervisor, assistant manager, whoever it is. I don't care about your title or your position, okay? There's no reason to talk to people flagrant, foul, out the side of your neck, rude, and disrespectful. I figure that you can say what you need to say enough to get your point across. Because I've had other supervisors talk to me, you know, and get their point across of what they need to say and go on about their business. Or maybe I'm just that type of person to where I'm just looking like, okay, they're being serious about whatever it is. But you have some people who take their position and their titles like this, and they serious about it. I mean, Mad Dog, Junkyard Dog, serious about it. And you just be like, look here, man. I'm going to need you to walk away from me. I'm going to need you to stop talking to me. Because you making me upset. You pissing me off. I'm not appreciating your tone. But I'm not trying to sit there and be belligerent enough to go at that same energy and pace with you. Because that's a drain on me. But you are going to understand that I'm not your child. My mother and father are at their house. I'm not your child. So all this yelling or raising your voice or talking to me crazy, who are you talking to? I'm not your child. I don't care about your position or your title. You're not going to talk to me crazy. No. And I'll tell people that in a minute that get to acting foolish. I'm not your mama or your daddy. I don't give a fuck about you. I don't give two rats. Okay? But people will take you there. As I've gotten older, I can see why people back in the day flipped out like they did. Because My pleasantries only last for so long. And then I get to the point to where I have a 3-strike rule. If I tell you the first time, you don't take heed. Tell you the second time, you're not taking heed of what I'm saying. You're not picking up that I am starting to get tense, because the expression on my face will change. And I don't hide that. My expression will change. And the third time, you don't believe fat meat is greasy. So that means my first thing I'm going to do is cuss you out. Cuss you out and really don't give two shits. I'm going to cuss you out. If it goes beyond cussing out, and I got to be that upset to put my hands on you, everything that ain't nailed down, baby, is coming in your direction besides myself. No, I'm not going to stand there and let you talk to me crazy. I'm not going to stand there and let you put your hands on me. No. I don't go out my way to bother people, to mess with people, put my hands on people, talk crazy to people. I don't do any of that because I'm not looking for that energy back on me. I try to live my life as peaceable as possible. So you go on about your business, and I'm going to go on about mine. Now, if it gets to a point to where we're fighting, and I had a supervisor tell me this before, if I got to determine if it's between you or my job, you or my freedom, you or my life, there is a problem. And I need to remove myself from that person or that atmosphere if it is getting to that level. I have to remove myself, because it's going to get to that, between you or my job, between you and my freedom, or you and my life, with somebody that is just downright disrespectful and agitative, like they're aggressive for no freaking reason, but they used to doing all that rah-rah and Dungeons and Dragons with people. Don't do that with me. Don't do that with me. Because I'm going to tell you as nice as I can. Stop talking to me. I need you to walk away. I need you to move around. I don't need to be bothered and deal with you. I'll keep you at a distance. You keep doing what you're doing, you're going to get what you're looking for. And like I said, anything that ain't nailed the fuck down is coming at you besides myself. That is no joke. That is no joke. And I learned that being in Cali. From being in Cali from over the years. Those are the rules. I'm giving them to you. So I'm not going out there looking for people to agitate, to harass, anything like that. Kim is trying to live a peaceful life. I'm good with it, with how I am. I'm not bothering you. Please don't bother me. I like to be cool. Like I said, I want to be peaceful by the time I get to my house. If I've been riled up at work or let something get to me, by the time I make it home and park my vehicle, I want to be peaceful. Because anything that I'm taking in that house is going to be harboring and sitting on you, pissing you off to the highest level of festivity, to where you possibly wake up in the morning and you still on tick, tick, boom, pissed off mad, right? It's too early in the morning for that. I'm not trying to wake up with that. I sure in the hell ain't trying to go to sleep with that. Because I'm the type of person to believe that that can sit up here potentially end your life, in your sleep. Because you got so much strain and tension on your heart. Or you're out driving or going somewhere, but you ain't paying attention because whatever it is still on your brain. Pissing you off to the highest level of festivity. Baby, some things you gotta let go. I ain't say forget them, honey. You just gotta let them go. You gotta let them go. Some of them. I understand everything you ain't gonna let go. To each his own. But some things you do. You gotta really look, is it that serious? Is it worth my energy? It ain't? Shh. Gotta let you go. I'm good. I ain't about to keep fucking around with you. I'm good. So, those are my stories for the day. I don't know if you guys have any stories that you want to share. I hope you guys got home safely, in one piece. No hassle, fuss, trouble, problems, misunderstandings. Got your journey or destination the same way. Got things done that you need to get done. Hopefully by the time you reach home or your destination to where you at peace, you good before you walk over that threshold going where you're going to get into whatever residence that you're going to. Okay. All right, huns. Let me go on and get in my house so I can relax fully and be good with it and have no problems and just chill out. That is what I look forward to. Mellowness. That's the other thing I learned from, not just being in California, but also being here in Texas. Because like I said, my daddy's side of his people, they come from the country. They used to sitting outside on the porch, no matter if it's raining or the sun is out. And you just say hello to your neighbors or the people that's walking by. And you just taking in your atmosphere. You're appreciative of the day. So, I'm a country girl and city girl. So, that's just me. I just like to be pleasant. I walk around with my shoes off, like walking through the grass at my grandma's house, where she used to live. You just take your shoes off, walk off the porch, just walk in the grass, just feel the coolness of the grass. Just mellow the fuck out. Like, go sit on the steps of the porch or sit in a chair. Of course, they got the phone. Oh, Lord, I'm starting a whole new story. Of course, they got the phone from inside a house that's outside. No matter if it was cordless or a handheld-based phone. They bring outside with the long cord. And you might hear the TV on the inside. Could have been their stories on or whatever it is. But they sitting out and they just enjoying their day. And you grow up doing those same things. Sitting there just on the porch. Just chilling out. Enjoy yourselves. Find you a happy place. Find you a pleasant place. And just ride in it. Love it. Live in it. So it can be your center and bring you back to where you're okay. With what's going on. Because everything you can't control. No matter how much you might want to try to put your hands on it. Say something about it. Do something about it. Everything it's not for you to control. It's not to be in your position or possession to control. So, like I said, I'm going to get in this house so I can relax, enjoy my day, and be good with it. Appreciate y'all taking this commute with me. And y'all stay blessed. I'll see y'all in the AM. So I'll talk to you later.